don't even some of y'all don't even know about Speaker Knockerz, bro. He was a real deal legend. Yes, I would say he created a wave. I would say, but a lot of people say he was mid or whatever, bro. You're lying. You're lying. It's really some people that really say Speaker Knockerz wasn't even good. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy to say, bro, because he literally inspired your favorite artist. He did, bro. He inspired your favorite artist. Come on, bro. We gotta put respect on Speaker Knockerz' name, man. He really liked that, man.
Speaker Knockerz
he got some hits. He got classics.
Helped create the new wave of melodic hip hop. But right as he was about to take his career to the next level, he tragically passed away. And his exact cause of death is still a mystery to the fans.
Nah, the reason I heard he died from falling asleep in a garage while his car was on. So it was like carbon. What is it called? What is it called again? It was called something, but it was like poison from his car being on and him falling asleep, and he would sleep for hours while his car was on. It's like it's like some poison. I forgot what it was called.
Artist and created the blueprint for
damn, what was that shit called?
Speaker Knockerz was born in New York.
I forgot. I'm gonna be honest.
He was always into music thanks to his dad, who was also rapping and making beats when he was a kid. But when Speaker Knockerz was only 5
he grew up in the Bronx. I thought he grew up in South Carolina. Huh?
Years old, his dad caught a case and ended up getting 10 years in prison. Not long after that, his mom moved the family to South Carolina to give him a better place to grow up and avoid ending up in the streets. Speaker Knockerz started getting serious about music in high school and taught himself how to make beats. But he wasn't just an artist. He was also studying what music his friends were into and what was buzzing on the internet. Around that time, Soulja Boy had just blown up off his Crank That dance, and Speaker Knockerz took a lot of influence from the style and marketing tactics. So he wanted to find out how Soulja Boy created the sound.
That was a minute ago.
He used FL Studio to make beats, so he downloaded a cracked version and started getting to work. At first, he was just messing around and having fun with it. But the more he learned, the more he realized that music was what he wanted to do with his life. He started making beats every day after school and continued working on his production skills. But he also started making his own music too and experimenting with autotune to create a whole new flow. He decided to drop out of high school to focus on music, which his mom didn't like. She even kicked him out of the house for a while, and he was forced to make it on his own. But deep down, Speaker Knockerz knew he was onto something with the music and had to keep grinding. He tried getting a regular job, but knew working a 9-to-5 wasn't for him. So he put all his energy into making beats so he could find a way to support himself through music.
Damn, that's crazy. I didn't even know FL Studios was that old. Damn, that shit been around for a long time.
Beats per day online, and even spent 2 straight summers sitting inside working on music. He was putting his tracks up on SoundClick, a website where rappers could search and find beats. He just kept grinding.
SoundClick, is that like pre-SoundCloud?
First sale for $50. He invested it right back into buying better speakers. His dad got out of jail in 2010 and reunited with his sons. He even started helping Speaker Knockerz work on his own music and showed him how to mix and master his tracks. With his dad's help, Speaker Knockerz released his first mixtape, Flight Delayed, under the name Jamal Jr. He was still building a fan base, so the tape only got a few hundred plays when it first dropped. But even though his own music wasn't getting much traction, his career as a producer was starting to take off. Around that time, he changed his name to Speaker Knockerz and created the DJ tag that he later became known for. His first big break as a producer came in 2011 when Meek Mill rapped over one of his beats on his song Tony Montana from his Dream Chasers mixtape.
So whole time Speaker Knockerz was a rapper and a producer. That's some goated shit, bro. That's some goated shit. Come on, bro. We gotta put respect on Speaker Knockerz' name, bro. I'm trying to tell y'all, bro. Yo, Speaker Knockerz was a one of a kind, bro. What rapper y'all know that can produce and make music? The only one I say is Kanye, bro. Kanye is like the only one. Other than that, bro, this man Speaker Knockerz is a one of a kind, bro. Come on, man.
That was a huge win because Meek Mill blew up and went mainstream right after that. And suddenly, everyone was looking for a Speaker Knockerz beat. He went on to produce tracks for 2 Chainz, French Montana, Gucci Mane, Young Dolph, and many more. By the time he was 17, he was already selling beats consistently. According to one source, he made over $40,000 in 6 months. That was enough to help him get his own place and even buy his dream car, a black Camaro. But
damn!
Making major moves as a producer, Speaker Knockerz still had dreams of blowing up as a rapper. So he kept dropping his own music on the side and figured out creative ways to get people to pay attention. He watched Soulja Boy blow up with a viral dance move, So he started sending his music to popular dancers who had a buzz on the internet. Speaker Knockerz sent his music to a popular bop dancer from Chicago named Kimo, who started making videos dancing to his songs. He also started producing for other local Chicago artists like Boss Baca, which helped him build a large fan base in the city. He started going out to Chicago to perform, where he linked up with another popular Vine star and singer named Tony Romiti. Tony started making vines, dancing, and lip syncing to his music, which helped him blow up even more. They even collabed on a track called Scared Money and exposed his sound to a whole different audience. Speaker Knockerz would capitalize on the buzz by dropping back-to-back mixtapes in 2013, Married to the Money and Finesse Father.
Yo, Married to the Money is that shit. Oh, this that one song like, I can't even dap you up. I'm about to double up my styrofoam cup. Oh my god, y'all niggas don't know about that, bro.
Hit Rico Story in September, but a few months later, in December 2013,
Rico Story, bro, y'all don't know about that, bro.
Lonely was a huge.
Trapping in the house, I was lonely. Kinda wanna only smoke, cause my head hard. Y'all ones do not know about Speaker Knockerz, bro.
He was one of the first artists to mix auto-tune flows with a production inspired by trap and drill music. With the help of Tony and other creators on Vine like Reggie Coos, Lonely became a viral sound and internet meme.
I know, bro.
Blow up even more. Speaker Knockerz knew he was making.
I seen that shit on Musically like every day.
He was about to change the sound of rap forever. Even though he was getting millions of views, he still wasn't signed to a major label. Instead, he wanted to stay independent and build his own brand. He set up his own indie label, Taliban's Entertainment, and released all his music independently through the internet. So, Speaker Knockerz was well on his way to becoming a triple threat: a superstar rapper, producer, and a record executive.
Bro, he was about to be the greatest of all time, bro. I'm trying to tell you.
He doesn't need a big name to get popular. So, he clearly had the vision and wouldn't let anyone stop him from reaching the top. His videos were consistently going viral, and by selling beats, he had a way to make money without signing to a major label. It seemed like Speaker Knockerz was in the perfect position to take over the music industry, but at the height of his fame, his life and career were suddenly cut short before he could reach his full potential. Although Speaker Knockerz was finally starting to live his dreams, life wasn't always easy. The sudden overnight fame made some family members switch up and start acting different.
Think about the money, no. And I know about the money.
According to his friends and family, in the months before his death, Speaker Knockerz seemed to be depressed and wasn't acting like himself. There were even rumors that he started abusing drugs to deal with the stress of becoming famous overnight. He still kept grinding and dropped the track Erica Kane in March 2014. It was another instant hit, but fans had no idea it would be the last song he would ever drop.
Hey, that fame shit could get to you, man. You just said Speaker Knockerz got depressed. Damn, that's
a few
crazy,
days after
bro.
the song came out,
that shit, that fame and shit, bro, it can get to people, bro.
Speaker Knockerz had gone missing and no one knew where he was. Fans knew it was serious after his mom posted about it on social media and confirmed that he'd been missing for days. She wrote on Facebook, "It's not like him not to communicate or come home for this long period of time. I pray that my son is okay." The day he went missing, he had dinner with his family for his dad's birthday. He dropped his dad and brother off at home and told him he would be right back because he left something important. But he never came back, and no one ever heard from him again. The next morning, he had studio time booked and a business meeting lined up and didn't show up for either.
Damn.
So his family knew something wasn't right. No one could get in contact with him, and his family started to get worried. Eventually, they called the cops, who went to his home in South Carolina to look for clues. When they knocked on the door, no one answered, so they forced their way in. When they searched the house, they found Speaker Knockerz dead in the garage, right next to his black Camaro. The news shocked the world because he was only 19 at the time of his death and had
He died at 19?
Even though his family confirmed the tragic news, they didn't reveal much information about how he died or what happened leading up to his passing. So, theories began going around the internet to explain what might have happened. Some said it was the result of an overdose due to his addiction to lean. Others say it was a suicide and he died from carbon monoxide poisoning.
That's what I'm
car running in the garage.
That's what I'm talking about. Carbon monoxide poisoning, bro. That's what I heard. That's what I heard, bro.
The coroner later confirmed that there were no signs of foul play, and his official cause of death was a heart attack. 19-year-olds don't usually die of a heart attack unless there are drugs involved.
I'm saying
lean is known to slow your heart rate, which is where the rumors of an overdose came from. But the coroner also confirmed that he had no drugs in the system at the time of his death, and it was the result of natural causes.
Carbon monoxide, bro. I'm trying to tell you.
Speaker Knockerz, but they've been clear that it was not drug related, and most of the rumors are complete cap. On the 9th anniversary of his death, his mom, Misha Wilson, aka Mama Knockerz, appeared on the Drea O show where she talks about her son's death and legacy in music. She said,
reading some of the things that people say, it's like whatever they put out on the media, in the media, that people believe it. And then when I see some of the things that they say, it's not true at all. Like 95% of the things that they say is not true. My son did not die of any type of drug substance or anything like that. And he did not have a heart attack. But I just, want to clear that up, that that's not what happened to him.
But even though it was a tragic situation, there was still a silver lining. Because he stayed independent and never sold his masters, his family gets 100% of the profits from his music catalog. At the time of his passing, he had about 49 tracks available online, and his family continued to drop his unreleased music. They premiered a video for Erica Kane a few months after his death, and his final mixtape, Married to Money 2, came out later the same year.
Gone too soon, bro. This is sad, bro.
Rap game for a few years, but the music he dropped inspired a whole new wave of artists. His melody-driven rap
about the
style
money,
wasn't
no.
alive, but since then, many popular artists have blown up using a similar sound and credit Speaker Knockerz.
Yeah, A Boogie. We know A Boogie influenced.
After his death, Kodak Black released a remix of Lonely called Off of 14. Kodak blew up not long after that, and in the next few years, more and more artists would give Speaker Knockerz the flowers he deserved. When A Boogie with the Hoodie first came out, many people compared his sound to Speaker Knockerz. He was asked about it in an interview with The Breakfast Club, and A Boogie said he took it as a compliment because he was bumping Speaker Knockerz all the time when he first started to rap.
Yeah, it ain't nothing but influence.
Came out, that's what I was listening to too. So that's why I was saying, like, it's all a cycle.
Right.
Even if
Yeah.
facts.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's supposed to happen.
Oh my God, he'd have been huge. God bless the dead.
Just like A Boogie influenced by Speaker Knockerz, bro, it's people that's coming up now that's influenced by A Boogie. That's just how it's supposed to go.
You think it's a compliment when people do that?
Of course.
It's not necessarily taking their style.
For me, what can I say?
In 2016, Lil Uzi Vert shouted him out on an unreleased track called Alone Time, and Denzel Curry also rapped about him on the song Naughty Head. On Alone Time, Uzi raps, rest in peace to Speaker Knockerz. Got your bitch all on my arm. Lil Uzi, he just be wildin'. He got like all the options. Yeah. On Naughty Head, Denzel said, bitches get me sloppy, my pockets on Andy Milonakis. Bumping Speaker Knockerz, Rico Story when I see the coppers. In an interview with The Fader, Roddy Ricch listed Speaker Knockerz as one of his main influences alongside some of the biggest names
See
in
what
hip-hop.
I'm saying?
When asked what he listened to growing up, he said, I'm pretty young, so I was listening to Speaker Knockerz, Future, Young Thug when he first came out. I listened to Lil Wayne a lot when I was a kid. Future, Thug, and Wayne are three of the most respected artists in the game. So the fact that Roddy put Speaker Knockerz in that same category says a lot about his impact on the new generation.
Facts.
Even rappers who you might not expect to be inspired by that wave have given Speaker Knockerz his credit. In a recent interview with Billboard, T Grizzly said that Rico Story was one of the best selling rap songs of all time.
I could tell.
Even though he didn't live long enough to watch it all unfold, Speaker Knockerz had a legendary run that gave birth to a whole new sound.
Legendary
Fans
run,
may
bro.
never know the exact details about his death, but his memory will live on through the music he left behind.
Bro, Rico Story inspired T Grizzly with all those robberies, bro. All those robbery songs he made, bro. What the fuck? Why did it just do that, bro? I pressed the space bar, bro. I pressed the space bar. Why did it just do that?
Was one of the best
It's only
selling
20
rap
seconds
songs
left
of all
anyway.
time. So even though he didn't live long enough to watch it all unfold, Speaker Knockerz had a legendary run that gave birth to a whole new sound. Fans may never know the exact details about his death, but his memory
That's sad,
will live
bro.
on through the music.
I ain't gonna lie, I actually